Thursday, December 5th, the 5th day of Advent with the Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar, 6th edition. Let's check it out together on the Whiskey Whistle. Greetings and a Merry Christmas season to you, my whiskey friends. Mark here at Whiskey Whistle on YouTube, sharing a little whiskey awesomeness from Winnipeg, the center of North America, bringing you day 5, Thursday, December 5th, for the Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar, 6th edition. Let's find number 5. There it is. Day number 5. Let's see if I can get this one out easily. There it is. Well, what do we have there? I couldn't quite see it. I think it's Secret Spirits independent bottle. Let's have a look. I see a 10. What do we have here? Oh my, it's some peat. Ledaig 10-year-old. Now, I have to tell you, I really love Ledaig and Tobermory. So, Ledaig is distilled at Tobermory Distillery. Let's get that closed up. On the Isle of Mull. And one of my favorites, 46.1% ABV. The cask type is bourbon. That's going to give it some real peaty heft. And it's cask number 70099. The region is Island. And of course, again, from the Isle of Mull. All right. Distilled in 2008, so bottled in 2018 or early 2019. I've got my Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar glass at the ready. And we're going to crack it open and get it poured, shall we? Look at the color, though. Pretty dark, given that it's bourbon. And also given that it is 46.1% ABV. But let's pour that together, shall we? That looks like a good amount. Maybe just a dash more. I always find I like a little bit more in my glass. All right. Let's get on to the color for Ledaig 10-year-old from Secret Spirits. What do you see there for color? It's got a real deep copper hue. And yeah, right, just like copper. What a dark color for ex-bourbon. Typically, it's a little bit more golden. So that tells me that that was a real fresh cask. It might have been first fill, but in fact, it doesn't say. All it says is cask type bourbon. But my guess is that that's first fill. All right, now let's check out the legs together. Ooh, what an aroma. Oh, okay. So, turn to the side a little bit. And what do we see? We see very slow legs, in fact. They're actually really hard to see right now because they just haven't really started dripping it just yet. There's a couple there that are coming down, and now you see how nice and slow that is. Extremely slow legs. Wow. Again, supporting my feeling that that's probably fresh first fill bourbon cask. Okay, on to the nose. Such a peaty whiskey. The peat is coming right out of there, but also some really great warm buttery sweetness. Imagine like a sweet roll, hot sweet roll with butter on it. Very light cinnamon. But you're eating that next to a huge fire. Now I feel like it's a very earthy peat you get in Ledaig. Now I think that they actually get their malt from Port Ellen Maltings. I get lots of wood smoke here. Not an especially large amount of actual peaty notes like those Band-Aidy hospital type of scents. So it's a little bit more wood smoky. You've got some really nice warm sweetness coming through here as well. And a little bit of the smell of hot briquettes, the charcoal briquettes that you get from Kingsford. And deep in there, as I always get with Tobermory, I'm getting this very fresh green note that is sweet, and I liken it to parsley that's been dipped in icing sugar, like an icing sugar icing. And the more you smell it, the more you get a little bit more of this green, grassy note coming through. Well, quite an engaging nose and a great day 5 for Whiskey Advent. I'm salivating. Time to get on to the palate. Cheers, everybody. Absolutely, that's first fill. Big sweetness coming through there on the palate. I'm getting lots of orchard type of fruits, apples, pears. Then there's that really bitey peat that's coming through as well. It's peppery, kind of like Talisker, and it's got a little bit more apple and orchard sweetness. A little bit of crisp fried smoked bacon. Baked apples with a little bit of marzipan and a little bit of brown sugar in the core, and you bake it as a whole baked apple. Have you tried that? It's pretty great. And the finish, since I'm tasting this all at once for the first time, the finish is, of course, exceedingly long. Peaty whiskeys typically have a very long finish, but there's also some nice sweet notes that are carrying on and on and on in the finish here. And I am getting cinnamon and brown sugar on the palate. I'm reminded a little bit of a favorite childhood treat of mine. Take a piece of dark rye bread and toast it, then butter it liberally. Sprinkle on some dark brown sugar, and then also some cinnamon until it's basically black on top. A little bit of something like that here on the palate as well, with a little bit of added spice and pepper. It really does come off as rye a little bit. Okay, let's add just one. That's about 1.2 milliliters of water added. Now I want to let that sit for just a little bit. I'm going to put a Aquavite hat. By the way, did you notice my shirt today? All right, so put my Aquavite challenge coin on top. Now, a couple of cool things that have come in the mail recently. Way over from BC, I got a little sample of Food Quig's Infinity bottle. Should I try that? We'll try just a little taste. This is actually well timed because this is an island's Infinity. Orkney, Arran, Jura, and Mull. Just a tiny taste. Ooh, very sweet. Very fresh. Well done, Food Quig. That's a blended malt I would definitely buy if it were available. Very nice. There must be some Ledaig in there, I'm thinking. But wait, there's more. One more. This is from Graham Young. He's one of my Patreon supporters. And he sent me a few things. One of them is this Moonshine Creek New Make Spirit. And he aged that at home for 3 weeks in second fill sherry. This is 52% ABV. Let's try just a little taste. This is a mix of rye and corn, 66% rye and 34% corn. Ooh, big rye spice there. I wonder if they use some malted rye to help with the fermentation. That's some pretty nice moonshine. And you add in second fill sherry for 3 weeks, probably in a tiny barrel, and you get something that's very sippable. Well done. Thank you, Graham. And both of those gentlemen got a little package from me containing a few interesting things. Hopefully they report on that, so follow along and I'll see if they tell me how they feel. I'll mention it on the channel. All right, let's get back into this Ledaig 10-year-old from Secret Spirits. With water added, the peat really jumps out even more, and the sweetness, oddly enough, has taken a little bit of a siesta. Way more smoked bacon now. Crispy fried bacon, yes, but also bacon before you actually grill it. So the raw smoked bacon. All right, back to the palate. Cheers. Way more peppery. The peat is more prominent here, which is really interesting. But I'm also getting more of this rye spice note, which is making this a very, very interesting Ledaig. Well, let's have one final taste. Cheers. Quite nice. Well, let's get on to the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Ledaig 10-year-old from Secret Spirits. What's that going to be, folks? It's going to be 87 out of 100. You heard it. 87 out of 100 is the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Ledaig 10-year-old, distilled in 2008, cask 70099 from Secret Spirits. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. I feel like it's really great. What would probably take this to the next level, for me anyway, would be perhaps a little more peat. But a beautiful, beautiful dram. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this Ledaig. Please leave that in a comment. And I wonder what your to-date rankings would be for the Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar 6th edition for December 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I think you should know what mine is. Number 1 is Auchentoshan's 17-year-old. Tied for second are Burnside, a teaspoon malt from Secret Spirits, and the Lost Distillery Company's Toeymore Classic. 1 point behind for fourth is Ledaig 10-year-old, and only 1 point behind that is Tom and Towel 13-year-old from A.D. Rattray. This one I believe you can buy. It is cask number 11, A.D. Rattray Tom and Towel 13-year-old, 60% ABV. So you can check that out. So let me know what your rankings are, and I hope you're having as much fun as I am. Make sure you subscribe to the channel right over here. Hit the bell so you're notified of the future Whiskey Whistles. And if you like what I'm doing here on Whiskey Whistle, join the Whiskey Whistle crew on Patreon. Patreon.com/Whiskey Whistle. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow for day 6 of the Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar. Goodbye now.